So today I'm doing a tutorial on a winter scene. Yes, we are moving into spring, but believe it or not, last week we actually got snow where I live, so are we really done with winter? I'm not quite sure. Stay tuned and I will show you how to create this winter scene on your own. If you're new here, my name is Paige. I'm the Chief Pixel Pusher and Paintbrusher over at Gumption, and I'm here to help you get inspired and pick up a paintbrush or two and just get started. I actually presented this to my class a few months ago and we really enjoyed it, and with some modifications I thought I would do a video here for you. So without further ado, let's get started. One item that you'll need to do this project is something round, like a coffee can, a bowl, something that you can use to take your pencil or your masking fluid and draw a circle around. Now for me, this looks a little weird, but this is a diffuser that I have, but this is a perfect size, and it's actually the size that I created this project with. There are lots of things probably sitting around your house that you can use to create that circle, and I'll show you how I use this next. I place my round lid on top of my paper, take my masking fluid pen and go around the edge to create that circle. And I make sure that it is a solid line. There aren't any spots that are missed there. Make sure to hold your lid tightly to the page so it doesn't scooch around. Next, I get my T-square or my 2H pencil and I draw a horizon line. And then I start on the mountain range, the first mountain range. And then I start the second mountain range in the background. Pretty straightforward. Now I'm sketching in a creek here. I'm also sketching in the bank. This creek will have a little bit of a ledge. Next, I'm putting in a little sign here. This will say North Pole. Yours can say anything that you like. Next, I sketch in my snowman. I put a little top hat on him, some eyeballs and a carrot nose, some buttons down the front, and some stick arms. He doesn't have to be perfect, he can be whatever you want him to be. Next, I'm going to start with a very far background, and I'm using a purple for this. And I'm lightly spreading it into the farthest mountain range. Now I'm lifting out a little bit of light, or what could be thought of as snow. And I'm doing this by using clean water, tapping my brush on a napkin, and then lifting with that brush. Next, I'm going over the bottom part of this scene with just water. We're going to work wet and wet here. And I will start with a light blue, and then I will transition it into a yellow, and then into an opera pink. Very light colors, lots of water here. This just gives this scene a little bit of fresh color. Next, while it's still wet, I'm taking a darker blue color or a sodalite or Payne's gray color and going along the horizon there. Later I will put trees in here. Next, I'm working on the farthest mountain range again, and here I'm adding a blue color. Again, I'll be lifting out the light areas. Cleaning up some edges here. Don't be afraid to get out your hairdryer if you gotta dry something. Next, I'm working on the closest mountain range with a little bit of a darker color. Things get lighter as they recede, so this mountain is closer to us. We're gonna make it a little bit darker. Here I'm lifting out some of those lights as well on this mountain range. Don't be afraid to tap that with your paper towel if you need to. I'm going in with a little more dark ultramarine blue, or should I say more pigmented ultramarine blue. I felt like it needed a little bit more color there. Just letting the color spread here. Now we're going to work on the creek, and here I've mixed sodalite with ultramarine blue to create this really pretty blue color. I started with a smaller brush and then moved to a larger brush. Next, I'm going back into the far mountain range with a little bit more blue color. It dried pretty light. I want to give it a little bit more oomph, especially on the shadow sides of those hills. Just makes it pop out a little bit more. Now I'm working on our snowman with a little bit of the Phthalo blue, a light diluted blue here, just to start giving him shape. And you can build upon your color. It's better to start lighter than too dark. And here I'm painting this same color along the bank here. Because it's so diluted, this color is drying very lightly, so at times I will go back in and keep layering color. Giving this sign a little bit of a shadow of sorts and to show that it is sitting in snow. Now I'm putting in my trees here. I'm using the same dark blue color. You'll want to vary the size of your trees and the intensity of them as well. Darker trees will represent trees that are closer to us, and lighter trees are those in the background. Just some simple pine trees here. As you can see, this is more of a watered down version of a tree. Now I'm giving these trees a bit of a shadow so they feel grounded. Now this is really starting to look like a scene. Don't be afraid to go in places that need to be a little bit darker. It's better probably to wait until that paint is dry and then go back in. This gives your painting dimension. Now I'm going to be working on the sign here. And our little snowman, adding some shadows, deepening some of these colors. If you get something that's too dark on there, you can easily take a brush and dip it in fresh water and smooth out the color a little bit. Painting in his stick arms and his buttons here. Taking that dark blue and painting in his top hat. I'm leaving the band free of color for now. I'll go back in later after this paint has dried. And of course we can't forget his carrot nose. And I'm going back into this sign to darken it a little. The edges where the sun doesn't hit are a little bit darker. Adding more detail to my snowman. I decided I didn't care for how my water looked, so I went in and added another layer of this dark blue. I made sure it was dry before I did this. I decided the background needed a little bit more, so I came in with phthalo blue and just lightly painted it in the background. I also felt like my background purple wasn't dark enough, so I added another layer there too. With a thin brush you can add lettering. And also here I'm adding some color to the band on our snowman's hat. In the background here I'm adding some tree shapes in the far distance. Just highlighting and straightening up this horizon line here. Next I'm going to add the white snow to this by using a toothbrush dipped in gouache paint with a little bit of water. You'll want to make sure that if you do this, you protect any surfaces where this white could splatter. Now it's safe to remove our masking fluid, which you can see leaves a nice lean circle. And in areas where paint got outside of my circle, I just lightly massage a clean brush that's wet over that part and then lift with a paper towel. I felt like my snow needed some more intense white snowflakes in there. They looked a little watered down. And there you have it. There is our painted winter scene. If you enjoyed this painting process with me today, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and let me know you liked it. If you would like to see more of my content and tutorials, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you think your friends might get some value out of it, go ahead and share it with your friends. Until next time, stay creative, keep painting, and enjoying the creative process.